Episode opens at the Gotham City Orphanage where the children are getting ready for bed. Two children in particular are having trouble falling asleep. Dick Grayson is having trouble falling asleep due to his excitement of seeing what's left of his parents' circus and it being restored in their honor, thanks to the funds of Harvey Dent, while another kid named Annie Lupus is having trouble getting to bed due to a nightmare she's been having about some monster and a man dressed in red. Nun's sister Clarice is in both a bedtime story which eventually puts him to sleep. Little do we know, the man dressed in red from his nightmares is watching him right now. He has big plans for both of them. We cut to the next day at the fair, which also doubles as a circus carnival. Harvey Dent is currently setting it up, some help from Bruce Wayne and boss Rupert Thorne. Bruce has no ideas. Dent hangs up with flyers for the circus and for his own mayoral election. You can feel Thorne's eyes on him at all times, which makes him nervous. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne runs into a young woman with dark curly hair, who seems to be having trouble with one of the games. Bruce walks over to her and says, "Here, let me help you with that." Pays for a baseball and throws it at a bottle, knocking down about 20. Woman asks, "How did you just do that?" Bruce jokes, "I do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups, and I drink plenty of juice." The woman laughs and says, "You're funny." As Bruce hands her the prize he just won, she looks at him and asks, "Oh gosh, are you Bruce Wayne?" Bruce replies, "Yes, in your name." Woman blushes and says, Julie Madison." Bruce says, "Well, the fair is coming up. Would you like to go with me?" Julie nods and blushes even deeper. We cut to the abandoned Gotham City castle, and we see the man in red, aka the Mad Monk. He appears to be talking to Litton Midnight, still has James Craddock stored in that vile Batman. Craddock frantically tries to apologize for his sins in an attempt to weasel his way out of the situation. Linton tells the Phantom Mechanic the Mad Monk flicks the vial and traps the gentleman ghost in the container with metal at the top bottom, keeping him trapped. Craddock bangs his phantom fist on the plexiglass case. "Let me out, you ruffian!" The Mad Monk yells, "Quiet!"
Softly says,
"I have plans. If they succeed, you could get a new body." Mad Monk chuckles as the scene fades to black. We cut to nighttime with the fair opening and Harvey Dent announcing the events of the fair and the positive impacts of his campaign. Harvey Dent sets himself up for a dunk tank, which excites the fairgoers. Julie looks up at Bruce and says, "So, what do you want to do first, Mr. Playboy Billionaire?" Bruce laughs and says, "I'm thinking cotton candy. How about you?" "Sounds great." And they go to the concession stand. Scene cuts to the orphans being locked outside the fence. A boy with black hair named Kyle Rayner looks out at the fans. "Man, this place sucks. You'd have all the fun while we're supposed to be in bed." Dark-skinned boy with curly black hair named Jefferson Pierce says, "Maybe we should just go home, like our nanny says." Dick Grayson says, "They promised us time at the fair yesterday." A girl with dark hair named Tatsu Yamashira said, jokingly said, "We could slice that door right open." Annie Lupus shyly said, "We could jump a fence. It's too short to stop anybody." Dick Grayson says, "Great idea," and does a flip over the fence and unlocks it for everyone. They will smile. Tatsu Yamashira says, "Great job, circus boy," and they all walk in. The group looks around the circus, taking in the games and snacks. They all have fun with the games up until they run into Tony Zuko, the old boss at Dick Grayson's parents' circus. Grayson freezes in fear. Tony Zuko remarks, Well, it isn't a bunch of little twerps way up past their bedtime." Tatsu grabs Dick's arm and says, "Let's run!" And they all split up into groups of two, besides Annie, who unfortunately ends up alone. Annie gets lost inside a circus tent with lions and cages. They all start roaring, which scares the young girl who grew up in a window. But he walks over to her and says, "Poor little orphan Annie, lost and afraid. They think I can help with that." And he looks up to see the man in red from the nightmare, the Mad Monk. She screams and tries to back away. He just starts jumping and find a way out. Mad Monk injects Annie with a serum with wolf DNA and dark magic. Annie transforms into a werewolf with her some very eyes. It's perfect. "Now bring me some more test subjects." Puts before her sadistic look inside. She howls and runs, clearly not in control of herself. Cut to Bruce Wayne joining us, walking again, eating cotton candy.
talking about
The blood moon in the sky, two of them about the key center. Sister Clarice runs over yelling, "The children are missing!" To wait for 10 minutes and I couldn't find them. He says, "Calm down." Bruce Wayne gets a serious laugh. Bruce says, "I'll get back." "We can help Will," before she can finish. Bruce has already disappeared from the side. The scene transitions to Kyle and Jefferson engage in a game of ring tag. The snaps into Mox. Grace must be really worried about us. Pius scoffs a little. I'm not worried about it. We can handle ourselves, Jeff. The world doesn't notice or care about us. Her outside Jeff. Suddenly Jefferson is now recognizing Orphans. Did you hear that? Yeah, it's probably just some lost dog. You'd be worried about your scaredy cat. I know what. The werewolf leaps out from the bushes, attacking the boat. Cabin, the woods, a mad monk awaits. The scene shifts to Bruce Wayne walking towards the circus. There's a close and there's a freak show. Bruce says, "Excuse me, some kids have gone missing. Have you seen them?" The bearded lady glares at Bruce and says, "Boys, I think we have ourselves a creep over here." Says it's not like that. The man who looks like a shark. Let's show this boy what we do. Creeps, ma. And they all start beating up Bruce, and he can't do anything about it. And he's Batman. After the freaks throw Bruce in the ditch, they run off. Bruce has to call Alfred to see his ride, his suit, and his gear. Scene shifts to Dick Grayson and Tatsuya Yamashiro playing the boat race game. Tatsu chuckling. Better luck next time, kid. Pays out longer on. It says, man, at least I was close. It's time. Well, not close enough, Slick! Concerned to see Tony Zuko is in. You thought you could escape me, didn't you, Slick? Tatsu says, shoot. He throws a boat at Zuko. Says, you little brat! And pulls out a knife, swings and Tatsu dodges him. Tatsu stares. Kill the hero. They turn around to see a whale who lunges at Tony Zuko, breaking his arm and knocking him out. It's run. Yeah, the whale runs off. So Tatsu grabs Zuko's knife, goes and runs. Says, what about you? I'll be fine. I think. Dick runs off, find help, but Tatsu makes a brave but useless effort, then knock away. Werewolf eventually knocks around, drags Zuko and Tatsu into the woods. We cut to Julie Madison and Sister Clarice walking towards one of the surfaces, to where we saw the fall for it and shining forms. Go inside the tent and see the little midnights there. The random Farrago in the cage. Julie Madison starts to run until Bruce, all over the place, little midnight presses a button. The cage is trapped the two ladies. It's midnight. Now, my dears, there's no need to be so hasty. The night has just begun. It falls at the point. It says, oh, you two are getting very sleepy. And the two ladies are hypnotized to fall asleep. We cut to Bruce Wayne, who is changed into his Batman suit. Escape for ditch as he explores the fair. Pulls out his flashlight while sticking to the shadows to avoid the shooting. Dick Grayson sees Batman, follows behind him silently, finds some hawk leading to a cottage in the forest. Batman opens the door to find Linton Midnight, who recently used magic to teleport here. Batman glares at Linton and says, what have you done with the kids? Linton says, oh, I wasn't the one to them. I'm just their accomplice. He snaps his fingers and turns the lights on it reveals children. Besides Annie Lucas and Dick Grayson, Julie Madison, Sister Clarice, all uncaged with Mad Monk standing in front of him. The Mad Monk says, so, we meet for the first time. Batman glares at him. The Mad Monk says, not much for words, are you? His other sword says, no matter. How about you, Batman Daisy? The sword follows him on the side so I can start my fight. Lincoln walks over to the scene as he wants to launch this battle. While Dick Grayson's sitting while the others are looking to free the other children and the two ladies. Scene shifts to the forest, where the Batman and the Mad Monk are about to stop that battle. The Mad Monk pulls out his blade and charges forward with vampiric speed, swinging the blade like a madman. Though the King Crusader is barely able to block his own sword, knocking the Mad Monk back. He just glares at him. The Mad Monk says, go faster. Not detected. Mad Monk's eyes go not fast enough. Mad Monk dashes, stuns the dark back. Remembers his strength. Uses all of his energy for the power of the Mad Monk to retreat. Batman rushes to the pinned monk and punches him hard in the face. Mad Monk dashes away with his vampiric speed. Fall, at least enough to put some distance between him and the Dark Knight. Mad Monk lost a magic harm the Dark Knight. Batman throws away and throws a batarang to distract the Mad Monk. Mad Monk hits a knee Batman in the face. Batman dodges out of the way. Batman throws a punch, but Mad Monk dodges. Mad Monk swings his sword overhead. Batman catches the blade and kicks Mad Monk and tosses his sword to the side. Mad Monk stands up and says, well, it seems I have underestimated you, detective. Batman glares at Mad Monk. So, unlike some villains, I brought backup. He snaps his fingers and a loud howl is heard. The werewolf pounces on Batman, pinning him to the ground with a claw, and flips and tosses the werewolf off him. Mad Monk rushes forward and punches Batman in the face with a wicked cackle. Grabs Mad Monk by the arm and suplexes him into the ground. The werewolf dashes forward and knocks Batman into a tree. Batman manages to shove the werewolf out of the way. Mad Monk dashes forward and lands a powerful gut punch on the Dark Knight, who tries to slash Batman, but he dodges the attack. Batman roundhouse kicks for Mad Monk, knocking him to the ground. Werewolf tackles Batman and he's ready to slash his throat. Though, Batman counters the attack with a smoke ball. Mad Monk uses Batman to blast the smoke away. The werewolf spots Batman in the tree and slams him to the ground. While the Mad Monk, the werewolf, and the Batman are battling, Dick Grayson has snuck into the cabin where the elders are captured. He sees Tatsu locked in a cage. Dick exclaims, "Tatsu, are you okay?" Tatsu responds, "Yeah, sure." Anyway, I saw a sick katana on the ground that could easily break these cages open. It's in the bottom left corner. Dick nods it and sneaks over to grab the katana, using it to slice the cage open. Dick sees Batman getting beat down and says, "Oh no, Batman's in trouble. I need to help him. What can I do? I'm just a kid." Tatsu hands him a kunai and says, "Here, little Robin. You can use this to remove that freaking werewolf. Maybe it'll help." All free the others. Dick nods and sneaks into the bushes and throws a rock to distract the werewolf. Batman gets up and battles with the Mad Monk, the werewolf. Snicks Dick's set, freezes a bit. Hey, Lupus is still in there. Dick was always kind to her. Dick had a chance to cut off the control collar, setting her free, allowing her to see the monster who did this to her. The Mad Monk, the werewolf, leaps at the Mad Monk, barking and crashes him into a tree, breaking his arm. Mad Monk yells in agony, sends it off, and he was still up. Lesser man, when you leave, there's always no one. Grows in the moon and continues. Unlike lesser men, I can regenerate. Mad Monk flares his words on a bit of rage, slashing his hand with the claw. When he misses, Batman hurls a battering at Mad Monk, leaving a mark on the villain's head. Mad Monk rushes forward and kicks Batman in the neck. The werewolf leaps onto the Mad Monk, bringing him down to the ground. The Mad Monk shoves the werewolf onto him and steps on Paul. Dick Grayson sneaks out of the bushes and hits the Mad Monk with two sharpened sticks, resembling wooden stakes, weakening the Mad Monk. The Mad Monk throws a punch, knocking Dick Grayson to the ground. Batman rushes forward and lands a flying kick to the Mad Monk's face, where he bites the Mad Monk's arm. The monk screams, "Enough!" and blasts everyone back with a wave of magical wind. Suddenly, a silver katana strikes the Mad Monk in the rib, him screaming at. He pulls it out. He looks to see Tatsu Yamashiro, who has released everyone else from their cages. The group surrounds the Mad Monk. If he chooses to fight them all, he risks being discovered or possibly losing, so he changes into a bat and flies off. Kyle Rayner exclaims, "Darn it, he got away. I'm looking forward to kicking his butt." As the sun rises, a werewolf turns back into the young Annie Luke, surprising most of the onlookers. Annie starts crying. Blue Addison says, "We might have to turn her in." Dick Grayson says, "No, she's our friend. She didn't mean to hurt us." Dick Grayson gives her his blue hoodie and tries to comfort her. Batman says, "Kid's right." Helps him carry Addie back to the orphanage. After that, Julie looks for Bruce, whom she manages to find at the drink stand and the bit Bruce. Julie says, "Hey, where the heck were you?" Bruce responds, "I got beaten up by a bunch of circus fools and shoved down a ditch. What about you?" Julie flushes and says, "Well, never mind." It takes a sip of a punch Bruce got for her, and the two of them walk off to have a real date. We cut to a dark room with a shadowy man and a puppet, only slightly lit up. Puppet says, "Tonight Gotham falls," and throws a knife and a picture of Harvey Dent. A flicker of the light reveals that the puppet is Scarface as our episode comes to a close.